Wednesday at the Matinee with BROtality.
What's up, YouTube? BROtality here. It is Wednesday at the Matinee, and this week I'm going to go over Avengers 3. Or Captain America Civil War? Iron Man 4? The latest Marvel movie that just came out last week. Captain America Civil War. But before I do, I'm going to give you a heads up right now that there's going to be some spoilers in this review, so you might want to click away. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's jump into that. So Captain America Civil War is basically a movie about picking sides. Either you're going to be for Tony Stark's side, the power should be checked. It should be governed by some sort of big brother body. So that way no casualties happen, or if the casualties do happen, it's already understood that it's going to happen. Let the UN decide on whether or not the Avengers should act. Or you can be on Captain Rogers' side, who believes that power should be unchecked entirely, so it doesn't become a hindrance and they can rapidly respond to threats and pick and choose who they decide to go after before they become a major threat and wipe out the planet. So that is one thing I really like about this movie. They did a very good job at doling out both sides of the fence without making you favor one side or the other. It's a personal choice to decide if you're going to be Team Cap or Team Stark. Now for some spoiler alerts. The fight scene between Stark's side and Captain America's side at the airport was amazing. But I gotta say, in my personal opinion, Ant-Man and Spider-Man stole the show. They made half that fight scene what it was. Yeah, sure, there was like 5 other individuals on each team, but those two right there made all the difference in the world. Ant-Man was recently introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and had a great standalone movie. So to see him with the rest of the Avengers was great. I mean, it was a chance to really show off his fighting skills on a different scale. And we finally get Spider-Man on loan. We finally get to borrow Spider-Man. And I gotta tell you, this Spider-Man is a whole lot better than the other Spider-Mans we've been getting over the past couple of years. I'm glad Sony finally decided to let the Marvel Universe borrow him. And they did a wonderful job of writing his parts and giving him his action scenes. And they couldn't have picked a better Peter Parker to play Spider-Man. It's great. I also like how they basically paired up the rivals in regards to strengths and weaknesses. Everybody, I mean, at one point did fight each other and it was kind of a brawl. However, you could really tell who was going after who. Spider-Man, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Black Widow, War Machine, Nighthawk, Stark, Cap, Winter Soldier, Black Panther. It was really good the way they paired all that up. It really meshed and really made for a great fight scene. The other thing I liked was the 2 teasers, the end credit teaser and the final teaser, expanding both on what's going to be going on with the Winter Soldier, probably setting that up for the next Black Panther movie, how they're finally going to get to include Spider-Man in the Phase 3 of Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, no movie goes without gripes, so I'm going to bitch about a few things here. Bear with me, they are minimal, but to me it was enough to kind of throw me off a little bit. For starters, it had a real flimsy storyline. Not so much the pick a side type deal, but more or less the main bad guy, Captain Zemo. The dude basically infiltrates the government and instantly gets access to the most wanted fugitive, Winter Soldier. He stole somebody's identity, and it wasn't like he stole his cars and did facial reconstructive surgery or anything crazy. Nothing even on the level of the last Avengers movie where S.H.I.E.L.D. crashed and the Hydra was everywhere. No, not even close. It was, he killed the guy and then was like, yeah, I'm a doctor. Matching names. See? If Batman v Superman can't get away with that kind of crap, I don't believe that this movie should either. I understand ignoring certain plot points in order to make the movie work. Like, I get that. This is a comic book universe. However, some of it's kind of obvious, and this was one of the ones where they could have spent a little more time figuring out how he's going to actually infiltrate instead of just setting off an EMP blast and taking out the grid. It's kind of stupid, kind of cheap. Kind of lazy, if you ask me. Also, the whole thing with Captain Zemo, the Tony Stark showing up to fight Captain America in Siberia, and then having the footage ready to go. Like, how did he know he was going to show up? Now, I know, once again, for plot points, it's kind of whatever makes sense. But at the same time, if he didn't show up, the movie wouldn't really end nowhere near the same way. Like, I'm going to hold on to this footage of this guy murdering your family in case you show up. And if you don't show up, I won, I think. So those two are like the only real complaints I have about the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very entertaining and fun to watch. So as far as reviews go, Captain America sits at a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, an 8.5 on IMDb, and a 75 on Metacritic. Me personally, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. If we were grading papers in school, it'd be a 90 out of 100, but then I'd also include the little red smiley face and the good job thumbs up. But like I said, overall, it didn't really feel like a Captain America movie. It felt more like a Avengers 2.5 or so, with Captain and Stark getting just a tiny bit more time than everybody else. So with that 9 out of 10, I strongly suggest that if you haven't seen it yet, and you're watching this and getting spoilers, go buy a ticket, take your family, sit down and enjoy the 2 hour and 27-minute movie, buy some popcorn and some drinks, and have a good time. Definitely worth it. However, I would suggest not seeing it in 3D. It gets real choppy during the fight scenes. At least it did at my theater, and they usually don't have those kind of problems. So I'm thinking in general, the 3D is kind of but definitely see it in your Extreme XD or digital or, whatever the top line you can see it as without the 3D glasses, because it is definitely worth it. Well, that's the end of my review for Captain America Civil War. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Take care now.